following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. My name is Robin Ayers, and I'm with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on your drive home. That's the jam right there. Andy don't miss. He got the right one. He got the right one today. Happy birthday to Neo. Schaefer Smith in the building. Another Libra. It's Libra. Y'all, I kid you not. Libra season is up. I mean, what's up?
You got to share that story again one more time.
What story? What story?
The Neo story.
What about Neo's story? Have I ever shared the Neo story?
I swear you shared the Neo story.
I'm not sharing the Neo story.
Was it that same location in the same truck?
Huh? Oh, no.
Maybe I'm confusing.
You're confusing Mac 10.
I could have sworn it was Mac 10, Neo, and like some other cats that pulled up on you in that same area.
No. I've known Neo a long time ago, but it wasn't from an intersection. But shout out to him and all that he is doing, because I met him as Schaefer Smith, and he is now Neo, the global superstar. So good for him.
You just love saying this government, huh?
He goes by Schaefer.
No, he doesn't.
People know him by Schaefer.
I mean, I know that, but he's Neo now. I'm just saying, you just putting him out Schaefer Smith.
Like, people don't know. He talks about the fact that his name is Schaefer Smith. He loves his government name. Okay. Acting like I'm blasting him. Nah. Anyway, yes, Poly Neo. Poly Neo. I mean, who would have ever thunk it? This man has now embraced polyamorous relationships. And whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat, sir, is good for you. But anyway, happy birthday. That's what we're talking about here. It is Libra season. Anyway, it is Friday, y'all. Friday, you have made it to the weekend. You may already be finished with work. And if you are, congratulations. Kick your feet up. Drink a glass of water or wine, whichever one you like, or just chill out and, have yourself a good time. Either way is cool. Andy, do you have any plans for the weekend?
I'm chilling.
Chilling is always a good thing. I will be very busy this weekend. I'm going to be hosting an event that's happening here in LA, Beverly Hills to be exact, for foster youth. It's going to be foster youth. It's called Beyond Our Kin. Myself and Corey Hardrick. Shout out to Corey Hardrick, who is going to be my co-host for this event. And it's going to be a wonderful time. We'll have our own little fireside chat with B. Simone and other people who are going to be out there bidding on some fantastic donations from different sponsors for the youth, for the foster youth. So it's for a very good cause. So I'm excited to do that. That's going to be tomorrow morning in Beverly Hills at the Four Seasons. So if you are interested, there may still be tickets available. You want to go to Beyond Our Kin and check them out. They have Instagram, all that good stuff. All the good stuff. Listen, I think I may have forgotten to tell you, but I won't forget to tell you today. Remember that show I told you guys about? It's called Papa's House. It's with Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr. Well, it is finally premiering Monday. So that's this coming Monday on CBS. And it'll be at 5 p.m. our time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. So wherever you are, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern time. It's going to be a good show. It is. It's going to be a good one.
It's a sitcom, right?
It's a sitcom.
They're airing it that early on the West Coast?
Interesting, right?
Okay, I guess they're trying to change the game.
Yeah. Well,
I'll set my DVR up.
Yeah, please set your DVR up. I believe it's going to be a good one. Anything that Damon Wayans Sr. is a part of, I've always been a fan of. But Damon Wayans Jr. He's right behind him. He's had some successful shows as well, and so I'm looking forward to watching that. So you guys make sure you set your timers or your reminders. It's called Papa's House, and it's on CBS. Not so much in, there's going to be some good topics to talk about next week. Your boy, Dr. Umar, is back in the headlines. He is making claims, and he has this interesting theory, and it's not unheard of, but he has this theory that that all the black billionaires are being taken down. All right, so he's naming I know this is going to be interesting for Andy, but he's naming Diddy, he's naming Kanye West, he's naming Bill Cosby, and others as well. He named Kobe Bryant. I know that's somebody Andy has thought of as well. He's naming all these people. We'll see if he has any sort of credence to what he's saying. We will talk about that probably next week sometime. But I'm not going to get into too many because there's other things that I really want to get into, and I'll wait for our next week's show before I get into it. Yes, Robin loves the kids. That's right, Lavelle. He said Robin loves the kids. I do. And who's meeting him at Taste of Soul? Because that's actually happening as well. Have a good time. All right. Have yourself a good time. Well, if you've seen our flyer today, you know that we have a special guest who is in the building. He is right here in the studio with us. And I'm so looking forward to talking to him because he has a very interesting story, but also he's involved in some things that we've actually been talking about on this show. He is doing some fantastic things when it comes to the filmmaking world, the real estate world, the tech world as well. Very, very interesting story. And I cannot wait to bring him. His name is Richard Turrentine. I can't wait to bring him to the Raw Reports for you all because, we like to talk to people on this show. His studios have worked with some of the biggest names in hip hop. We'll talk about how he went from homelessness to doing what he's doing now, powerhouse even. We'll talk about that when we come forward. I can't wait to get started. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Takara Williams here with Robin Ayers on the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. If you ain't here, baby, hurry up.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
King C. Gillette knows you're dedicated to your barbershop routine, but how do you maintain the beard hair you already have? The King C. Gillette Beard Thickener helps to reduce patchiness and strengthens hair's resilience to breakage. Apply the King C. Gillette Beard Thickener daily to see a thicker and full of beard in just 14 days. It's highly scented with King C. Gillette's signature scent. Just trim, wash, and soften. With King C. Gillette.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Pour Downy in the rinse straight.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob
Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay. I see Morris Phillips says Common has opened up a school of the arts. Very interesting. Will our guests open up a film school? Well, let's talk about this. As I mentioned to you before, I was really interested in having him in because he's just he's got a great, inspiring story for me. He's an inspiring filmmaker, an entrepreneur who is transforming the film and real estate and tech industries. His company, Turrentine Studios, has worked with some of the biggest names in entertainment, including Doja Cat, whom I love, cool. Ty Dolla $ign, A Boogie with a Hoodie, and corporate giants like Playboy, Amazon, and Skims, doing big things. And here to talk about his studios and his tech platform, Screen Indie. Please welcome to the Rob Report, Richard Turrentine. Hello to you, sir.
Hey, Robin. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you made it to the studio, and I'm glad to have you here. And from what I understand, we're getting ready to talk about all your background and kind of for the first time,
let's do it. Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you here. Like I mentioned,
Thanks for having me.
You have one of those type of stories that are inspiring. If you've listened to me at all, you know that I love talking to people, number one, and then just people who have like a really interesting and inspiring story. And you have one of those. First of all, you in here representing Bison.
Oh yeah, it's homecoming week, so I
come on,
decided
Howard.
To put my jacket on. Happy homecoming, Howard University. I know everyone's out on the yard partying right now.
Yeah. But are you here and working?
Here and working.
Okay.
Had to miss it this year, but
that's all right.
It's all good.
That's all right. Sometimes you do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of work, and we respect that. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Take us back. Take us back. I mean, it's always interesting to hear all the accolades of people and what they're doing right now, but when you come from a story like yours, we want to know the background. Is it before Howard or is it post Howard?
Yes, I think it's before Howard.
Okay.
A lot of the morals that my parents instilled in me at a young age, I still carry to this day, and that has been the reason why I've become successful. And it's like talking to family every day keeps me grounded, and they always remind me of where I come from, and the memories and everything. And So I think again, I attribute a lot of my success to those foundations and the things that I was taught as a kid.
Yeah.
And especially being out here by myself. I don't have any family out here. So I have a lot of friends that are from school and even from back home that kind of migrated out here after everything. And yeah, like
So where is home? Where's back home?
DC.
Okay, so you're from DC?
Born and raised, yeah.
Ooh,
Yep.
born and raised. I hear some interesting things about DC. Number one, I heard it's a great social environment. People love to go. People take brunching very seriously.
Oh yeah. I think we kind of started brunching. I don't know. New York may say otherwise, but I feel like we kind of took the thing brunching to a whole nother level. But yeah, that's something that we take very serious, and it's a good vibe for sure.
Okay, nice. So you mentioned your parents and like your family and some of the things that they had instilled in you.
Yeah.
Being what did your family life look like when you were growing up?
It was a 2-parent household at first, and then they eventually got a divorce. And you know how it's a whole nother story with that, messy. But I think just living with my mom and just understanding the importance of hard work and building some type of discipline within yourself is really the foundation to any type of success you're looking to accomplish. So those are the things that she set out, to teach us, and me and my sister. And yeah, like again, everything goes back to those things that she taught me. That
foundation, right? Yeah.
Like it's crazy how that works. And I don't know. I think we talk every day. So I think her, like my mom, you can't believe what's happening. She's like, well, these are things that I was telling you about. Just keep working, stay in prayer, and things are gonna work out.
Ooh, I love that. I love it. Reggie White says HU. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about you going to Howard. So you actually stay pretty close in that area. What did you go to Howard for? To study what?
Film production.
Okay, so you already knew you wanted to do this.
Yeah. And it's funny because I knew I wanted to go to Howard when my first job was at Howard when I was about 13, 14. And a friend of the family worked at Howard, and she needed some help over the summer on campus, and I started working under her. And at that point, I just knew this is where I wanted to be when I, came of age. And so that was my first choice, and the rest is history. And my experience at Howard was like none other. I mean, as people that have attended, they say the same. It's just like a life-changing experience. And for me personally, it really allowed me to hone in on my skills as a cinematographer, as a filmmaker, and it gave me so many opportunities to, practice my craft, because I got involved in a lot of different organizations on campus. And outside of that, I still had a lot of friends like outside of campus, so I was working on music videos and shooting corporate stuff and weddings and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just a perfect place to be to really find yourself, but also find your life's work and craft.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Anyone who I know now as an adult, and in the industry that I'm in too, I come across a lot of other people in the industry who went to Howard. And the one thing that I know is, first of all, I know a lot of successful, great people who went to Howard, but also that it feels like everyone stays connected, and everybody, the networking is insane.
It's crazy.
Like it's
worldwide too.
Worldwide.
Yeah. You can have some Howard shirt on or anything anywhere in the world, and somebody be, oh, you went to Howard, and it's like it's a whole thing. You know? Yeah. That's
it's something like I love the idea of HBCU and all of that stuff, and wish my daughters sometimes would have chosen that route, but I have twin daughters who are in college now, but they chose a different route. All good.
Yeah, of course.
But it's something that I've always admired about Howard, and people who who I've met who had attended or graduated from there. But so take us back a little bit, because you said that you went there for cinematography, but what even clued you in? Like, that's what I want to do. Because
So I can remember as a kid that I wanted to get into the movie business. I didn't know what way, but I was just so fascinated with how movies were brought together. My very first film that I remember seeing as a kid was Jurassic Park. And my mom took us to is a theater in Marlow Heights. It's in PG County, a little bit outside of DC. A little rundown movie theater, but she took us there and saw the very first Jurassic Park. And I remember at that point, I'm like, I know dinosaurs aren't real and everything, and so I was just fascinated by the technology and like how they were able to recreate these creatures and put it in a movie form. So I knew that I wanted to, get in the movie business at that point.
Wow.
And I was really fascinated and blown away by that. So, yeah, I just kind of figured it out then.
Yeah. I admire people who figure it out early on. They say, like, I mean, because sometimes it takes for you to go through things, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have to be exposed to different things that you try and fail at certain things, and then you're like, okay, this ain't it, right?
Yeah.
But for you, you're like, nah, like I saw that, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to do, and then you said I'm gonna go to school and actually study that, and you stick to it.
Yeah.
You stuck to it because people be changing up their majors
They
and all
do,
of
yeah.
that, but you know what I mean? But you stuck to it.
Yeah, and to your point, it just makes life. It seemed like it makes life a lot easier, because you can always, even through hard times, you can always fall back on the things that you're really passionate and that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So I just think about that, and I was really blessed and fortunate to have received that at an early age, where people were still trying to figure it out, and even to this day, So I was just, blessed and privileged to have received that, early on.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Well, take us forward. So you graduate from Howard. Man, what do you do next? Like, what happens now? I mean, because obviously you said that you were already working a little bit. You were working with people. You had already had some experience. What did you do with that after leaving Howard?
So, man, it's crazy. I left Howard right after graduation. So I would say I graduated in May and moved out here maybe in July.
So you immediately knew you wanted to come to LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I packed my car up with all my clothes and all my things from home, and I just shipped it out here, and then took a one-way flight out here,
Man, hold on, man.
My grandma, my aunt, everybody took me to the airport, and
so they were supportive at least, though.
They were, yeah.
That's what's up, because some
Yeah.
people look at you like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
So you didn't have anything secured out here. You were just like, I'm
just winging it.
Wow.
Winging it.
Wow. Okay,
Winging
so
it.
you booked your one-way flight and
It
found
was probably the
yourself.
stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. To be
Really?
honest.
Really? But or was it though?
Oh, yeah,
or
exactly,
was it? You know what I'm saying?
But it was, I don't know, like I just was ready to move and ready for a new challenge. And I just fell flat on my face, as many of us do. We come out here in a new place with no plan, and you rely on your faith and, your resilience and determination to really pull through. But yeah, it was tough.
You fell flat on your face is
Yeah.
what you said. I mean, there are now so many people. We call them transplants. It's how unfortunate. I'm so sorry for
No,
y'all.
it's okay.
I'm sorry to call y'all that.
I get it, yeah.
But people who come to LA with the big hopes, the high
yeah.
hopes, and you're like, and it's one of two things though, Richard, in my opinion, right? So it's either you have those people who come out here and they're like, okay, I'm so focused, I'm so like hungry for this,
Right.
and you natives, y'all just be chilling, y'all don't see what I see. So they make it a point to be like, okay, all right, 1 + 1 = 2 here, like, and they figure it out and they become successful. Or like you come and you're like, I'm here, and then you're like with no plan or anything like that, and then you fall, but you stayed.
You stayed.
I
stayed. Yeah. It was crazy.
But that time that's crazy, because that was how long ago? I mean, how long have you been in LA?
It'll be 10 years next July.
That's a long time. I'm gonna shout you out.
For sure.
I mean, that's what's up, right?
I'm like, man, I guess it is.
That's a long. I mean, it's a long time. Well, obviously the tables turned around in your favor, but what was that like, and what was going through your head to say, all right, I'm just not going to turn around and go back home, because a lot of people would have.
Yeah. So my very first job out here was working at a company called EcoSet, and they were responsible for the compost and trash of production sets,
Okay.
So at the time I was working on that job, and it was a Target shoot for Gwen Stefani. And I'll never, this is so embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell the story. But
please do.
So a part of my job was to sit literally near the dumpster, and during lunchtime, and direct people where to put compost and garbage and everything else. So I was sitting there with my grabby and the chair, and the chair literally broke in front of the whole production group. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I can't do this anymore. And I was just embarrassed, but it was funny though. I laughed it off. That same shoot, Gwen Stefani's brother was shooting the behind the scenes footage of the actual production, him and his other guy. And so I literally walked over to him, and I was like, hey, like, this is my last day working with this company. I see what you're doing, and this is my portfolio. If you're looking for a PA or any type of assistance, I'm here. But I know this is my last day working on this project, on this job with this company. So he was like, yeah, man, just send over your portfolio and send me an email, and I'll follow up with you. And he was a man of his word. Literally had me on a project doing stuff for him the following week,
Really?
That's crazy story.
Oh my, but the boldness that it took to even say, I'm gonna walk up to this dude. This is my last day. So you already made up in your mind. Yeah, and I'm not working here no more.
I was watching him the whole time because I'm like, who is this random guy with the camera just walking around like really close to Gwen and doing all this stuff? And I'm like, okay, I need to figure out who this guy is, and that's what I just walked up to him. Yeah.
And would you say that is the moment that sort of changed things for you?
Yeah, that was a turning point.
That was a turning point. Fahima Sek, I already called you out. She says, shout out to the Kathy Hughes School of Communication at Howard University. HU, know. Yes. I knew Fahima was going to go in.
School of C, yeah.
Wow. So here you are now as a consistent PA, or just on this one project, or how did that
I was working with them for years. They had me working with Kevin Hart and Christina Aguilera and doing stuff with Common, brand stuff. So anytime they had a small project, they were like, Rich, we need you,
So how did that work? Because you already had a set of skills that you learned. Were they allowing you to utilize your skills, or were you still at this point learning, or like how did that work?
Yeah, so eventually as time went on, I started, camera operating, and they started to trust me more with doing stuff. So yeah, it was a progression of just time and I guess a comfort level, because they had to meet their requirements for the clients that they were representing. So, I had to know different cameras that they were using to shoot, and all different types of lenses and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, you guys, you already hear. You are listening to why I am so intrigued and want to know even more about this man, Richard Turrentine, and his studios. That Turrentine Studios is 5 acres of real estate that he purchased in Los Angeles County. But listen, we're talking about how he got there, right? Yeah. How he got there, and how it is that he has come to work with so many high-profile people in the industry, in addition to his own tech platform, Screen Indie, that I can't wait to talk to him about. There's just still so much more I want to talk about, and we have more in store for you guys. Right now, though, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
I'm Avery Wilson, and you're watching It's Robin Ayers.
More of The Rob Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Former President Barack Obama will continue campaigning for Vice President Kamala Harris with a rally set in Georgia on October 24th. Harris and other Democrats aim to boost black voter turnout. Around 2,000 pages of evidence in Trump's election interference case were released today. Special counsel Jack Smith argues Trump is not immune and incited supporters to obstruct Biden's 2020 win during the January 6th riot. Hopes for a ceasefire in the Middle East are coming to an end as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows to press on with the wars in Gaza and Lebanon. On Thursday, President Biden said now was a good time for a Gaza ceasefire following the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar on Wednesday. And gospel icon Cissy Houston, Whitney Houston's mother, was honored at her Newark church yesterday. She passed away on October 7th. Dionne Warwick and others performed at the service held at New Hope Baptist, where Cissy led the choir. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
If you're riding through Hollywood Hills tonight, be advised that the Airborne Toxic event has a concert at the Ford Amphitheater that is starting at 8 o'clock, so folks will be traveling towards the theater in the area. Also in West LA, watch for a 30-minute backup on the 405 South between Santa Monica Boulevard and Lafayette. Hollywood's 101 South between Gower Street and Mission Road. Watch for a 15 to 20-minute backup running heavy. Santa Monica continues with a 35-minute backup on the 10 East between Santanella Avenue and the 5-101 interchange. Also, East LA, watch for stop traffic from Floral Drive as an accident blocks the right lane of the 710 South at Cesar E. Chavez Avenue.
September 15th to 21st is Asthma Peak Week, with the highest concentration of asthma flare-ups and hospitalizations. To become a more active participant in your care, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers made an announcement that is no surprise to anybody. Kawhi Leonard will not be playing in the season opener Wednesday night against Phoenix. More troubling for Clippers Nation is that the team has no idea if and when Leonard will be able to play at all this season. The inflammation in Leonard's right knee continues to be a problem. Clippers coach Ty Lue said Leonard needs more rehab for his knee and that he won't play until he's 100% healthy. Since signing with the Clippers as a free agent in 2019, Leonard has missed 181 regular season games because of his knee. The top HBCU football game in the country Saturday features Florida A&M at Jackson State, the best teams in the SWAC conference. Florida A&M and Jackson State are the only HBCU teams ranked in this week's Division I AA Top 25 poll. FAMU is number 18, Jackson State number 25. You can catch the game live on ESPNU, 12:30 p.m. kickoff Pacific time. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Medicare open enrollment is here, and it's a time you can make changes to your health coverage. Yet, watch out for enrollment and marketing scams. Remember, Medicare will neither call you nor solicit your business. Guard your card. Never give out your Medicare number to strangers. Unsolicited calls, door-to-door visits, and emails are prohibited. Take your time. Don't feel pressured to make a quick decision. Report scams to our California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
The perfect storm. It's Twister and Chris Brown, you dig? I got a new one for you. Let's make a movie, baby. Twist got cars, big swagger. I'm a rock star like Mick Jagger. And I got bars that I spit faster. You a hot star, no better. So let me take you on the ride on the journey with the one that you call daddy. And who gon' make you get it wet? But this time we gon' do something romantic and different. I'll take you about it when we get on the movie set.
You are listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. If you are just joining us, we are having ourselves a great time listening to this gentleman who is here in the studio with us. He is a filmmaker. He's an entrepreneur. He's got such a great story. Director, writer, cinematographer, all these things. Richard Turrentine. He's got Turrentine Studios, which we are about to get to in just a moment. On the other side, we were talking about, your background and how you went to Howard University. You came out to LA, and you said you fell flat on your face. Yeah. But it seems as though, once you took you had the boldness to ask the gentleman on set. Mm-hmm. Listen, it's my last day. What could I do? I want to be down, right? Yeah. So I want to pick it up from there. But you have a few people speaking to you here in the comments. Lavelle says, "Stepping out on faith, love it, absolutely, amen. Yes, amen and amen." Morris Phillips says he's rich. 5 acres in Los Angeles. He's rich. That's funny because Los Angeles is different.
Well, I'll tell you a story about that too, because that's a big.
You could go ahead and address it.
So, with buying land, a common misconception is that property is so expensive that you can't even purchase land. Yeah. So what I found that if you go for properties that are tax defaulted and they end up at auction, you can get it for a fraction of the actual value.
Oh, that's smart.
Right. So, and even with that, you can contact a broker or whoever purchased that at the auction and structure a deal where you can pay in installments until it's paid off. And a lot of times they accept cash offers. So that was my experience. And
did you learn that at Howard?
No.
Where'd you get that information? Because nobody really would have thought of that,
Yeah. So at the time, I did end up getting a 9-to-5. So I was working at Uber. So I was getting a steady income. I was getting a check every 2 weeks, and I was just in the space of wanting to purchase land. I don't know, and come to find out, it's a family thing that I didn't even know. But anyway. So I found the property that I wanted to purchase, which is in Lancaster. Went out, got the address, scouted the area, and I was like, this is the perfect location that I see it being as far as filmmaking, production stuff. And I contacted the broker that purchased it from the auction, and I said, hey, man, I don't have all the money that you're asking for it up front, but I do have a job. I do have steady income, so I can pay in installments until it's paid off completely.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, no one's interested in it. It's just a random piece of property in the middle of the desert. Let's do the deal. And, once everything's paid off, you'll get your deed and title information. And that's how I got it. Purchased it.
Now, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to take a break right there because that needs to be like in a master class or a course or something, because that is something, especially our people, right? Yes. We're always talking about, ownership and taking control, right? And we never think of just thinking outside the box like that. Right. You know what I mean? That's something that I think that in and of itself, what you just said, is so major, and so many more people need to know how to structure deals that way.
You have to make it work for yourself. Yeah. And you don't have to think that you have to have everything together up front. You know? That's where I feel like we get afraid of, and we don't go through with things because we get afraid, or I don't have all this up front, or I can't do this right now because of such and such. Like, no, like make something work for you. And that's what I did with this.
So at what point, I don't want to skip over anything of your story. So I know that you were working with the PA. You said that you were as a PA, you were working with them for some years. Yep. During that time, had you stepped out and found clients of your own, that type of thing?
I did, and I was also working with my friends from college. So we started a group, and we started working on indie projects amongst each other. Like somebody would write a project, we would go out and shoot it and stuff like that.
That's so important. I always reference Issa Rae's comment in that. I always talk about that. Issa Rae, she was talking with, I think it was Roland Martin, and she said, people always think to try to network up, but we don't network across. Exactly. Who's hungry with you?
Right. Yeah.
Who's got the ideas and willing to just get out there with you? And that's what you did.
Oh, 100%. That's all who I knew out here. So I just relied on the people that I knew that I saw was going in the same direction I was going in. And again, we all had our specialty. You know, someone was a director, sound person, cinematographer, actor. So we all just came together and just started working on projects. And at the same time that was happening, we was expanding our network because, you know, there was situations where maybe somebody that I knew that they didn't know needed something, and I would share that information with them, and they would get booked for projects and stuff like that. So we just shared. And we still do that to this day. You know, we have a group chat where we share, you know, job listings or project opportunities all the time, and we just go in and help and look out for one another.
Man, the power in your network is like it's that's a real thing.
No,
that's
seriously,
a real thing.
It really is. Yeah.
And you know what's great is that you came to LA and that you didn't get caught up in the mix. Like I mean, I'm sure you expanded your network here in LA, but you had a foundation as well. People who you went to Howard with, and people who you knew were focused on what they wanted to do as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was that moment for you where I still see your comments, you guys. I'm gonna get to those in a second too. But what was the moment where you were like, okay, I'm on to something here, and you know, you've worked with all of these people at this point. Is this after you solidified your deal with Turrentine Studios, and then so that's when you stepped out and said, I can do this. I have the space, the location, and everything.
Yeah, and even fast forwarding from that. I don't know if we're gonna talk about the homeless part, but because I was homeless for a period of time.
Yes, okay. I was gonna. Where did that come in? Okay.
So so I was homeless for a period of time, and it was intentional. I was still working at Uber, and I felt like all the money that I was making was going to bills and just like living, and I wasn't really growing as a entrepreneur and as a person that I saw like in my 30s. Like I felt like I wanted to be successful in my 30s. So what sacrifice did I need to make at that time to get there? And I just had to have a real conversation with myself, and I just decided to move out of my apartment and start living out of my car. And I figured I'll be at work for 8 hours, and just, you know, after work I'll go to the gym to shower and just sleep in my car for a few hours and wake up and do the same thing. But I was saving a lot of money. So that money that I was making was directly going towards buying the property and then funding Screen Indie and, like, you know, creating these new avenues of, you know, things that I was trying to build and have in my 30s. So it all paid off, but it was a long journey.
You are an anomaly.
I don't think so.
I think you are an anomaly. Well, in the don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people have fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
A lot of people have. A lot of people hadn't chosen. I mean, you do have people who are houseless here who have chosen not to live somewhere in order to save money. But in terms of being so young, being so focused that you're saying, what can I sacrifice? And I'm going to sacrifice living in an actual apartment. To go for my
dreams. Give up all the comforts and everything, like, and just. Because had I not done that, I wouldn't be talking to you today. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I would still be in that corporate world, working
like
9 to 5.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I said, and I don't go out and tell everyone to do that, but you have to have that conversation with yourself and stop lying and be real to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what do I need to sacrifice to get ahead? You know, what do I need to cut back on to get ahead? And that's what I did. And it was one of the toughest things that I had ever had to do in my life. But it paid off.
How long did you do that?
So I didn't have a plan or timeline to how long, but it ended up being 2.5 years. And my family was like, "Do I need to get you an apartment and all that?" I asked my mom. She was like, "Nah, you don't need to." She was willing to give me an apartment. I was like, "Nah, I don't need to, worry you about that." So she would worry and everything, and I kept myself up. I was groomed, and I didn't look homeless, but
you had a gym to shower in, and
yeah. So, but it's just, again, being real with yourself and understanding, if I make this sacrifice with myself, where would the rest of my life look like? And I think, a lot of us, we aren't real with ourselves, and we suffer for that because we have to keep up an image for social media and for our peers and things like that. Like, no, it's
you speaking, Richard, you were talking like that's real. Yeah. That's a real thing.
Yeah, and I knew I was to be safe and everything, but it was just something that I just knew I had to do to get ahead, and that's what I did.
That's a mic drop moment. I that's literally one of my favorite things that I've heard. Just to intentionally put yourself first and for your future, and then sacrifice. I think it's incredible. Where did Screen Indie come from? That's a platform. Talk to us about what that is and where the desire was to to create that.
Yeah, so I was inspired when I worked at Uber to go out and build my own startup. And at the time I was at Uber, it was a really small office in Santa Monica, no more than, I would say, 50 people. So you were literally rubbing elbows with the engineering team and product and, executives and stuff like that. So it inspired me, and it showed me how to run a tech startup and learning a lot of the terminology and a lot of what, needed to be set in place to have a successful running startup. So I was inspired by that experience, and at the time I said, why not, the common issue is, as an independent filmmaker is, getting out there, earning monies for your project. So all these different things. And I said, if I can merge my confidence and, knowledge of the startup world to building this platform, like, it's a win-win. And again, to help people maximize on their earning potentials and visibility, is fulfilling a need for, people. So, just went in and started doing mock-ups. I don't even know how but I had the idea and the vision. So I just, on paper, literally just was writing out and sketching out like how I envision it to look. And I went and found a front-end and back-end developer to pretty much, bring it to life.
Okay.
And we launched in August of 2021, and we've been growing ever since. And the biggest takeaway that I want listeners to, take is, streaming is outdated, in my opinion. It's an old technology. So with Screen Indie, we're looking to take the streaming experience to a whole nother level. And what does that look like as far as innovation and, scale and, the future? So those are some of the things that we emphasize and, that we want to bring to the market, down the line.
But what does that look like?
Engagement, community-driven streaming experiences where, you can connect with people who are streaming your films, and pretty much curating these audiences for filmmakers to, support films. And, we think down the line as far as equity and investment options for users to go in and invest in film projects that they see fit and invest in the next big film director or such and such. So, like those types of things. It's like little intricate details that add to the experience. It's not just the linear streaming experience where you're just literally streaming a movie and nothing else happens. It's just all these other components that enhance the experience of streaming.
Wow. Okay. This is see, this days like this is where I need another hour. Morris Phillips says, I want to invest. Well, we'll talk about that and maybe how people can get on board. I don't know. And else, where else you want to go with your business. We'll talk about that when we come forward. You guys, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's up, everybody? It's Simeon Jays, and I'm chilling with Robin Ayers on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
From the first day of kindergarten through the day they graduate high school, in California, 38% of students attend a public school that fails to meet minimum health standards. That's why we need Prop 2. Voting yes on Prop 2 will fund urgent repairs at local schools, protect kids from toxic mold, asbestos, and lead, ensure clean drinking water, and repair leaky ceilings and storm damage. Yes on Prop 2. To fix what's actually broken. All funds go to local schools without raising taxes. You heard that right. So join the California NAACP, nurses and teachers, and vote yes on 2. Because all our kids deserve a safe place to learn. Ad paid for by Yes on Prop 2, sponsored by Nonprofit Education, Labor and Business Associations. Ad committee's top funders, California Building Industry Association, Coalition for Adequate School Housing, California Teachers Association.
Have you heard of the 50-30-20 rule? This can help you spend and save your money wisely. So how does it work? Distribute your dollars into 3 buckets. 50% towards needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% goes to savings. Use this tool to help your journey to financial success. Sponsored by JP Morgan Chase & Company.
That morning chill means truck season.
5 more minutes.
No snoozing. Do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the class-leading range of the Silverado EV.
Talking to me?
Work, play, hauling, off-roading, a Chevy truck can take it all.
Okay, I'm up.
It's Chevy Truck Season. Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
0% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 9.3%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/31/24.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have been completely inspired and loving this conversation with Richard Turrentine. I'm sure you guys have as well. Penny Thompson says, Richard, I applaud you for following your heart, following your dream, and accepting your calling. Challenging journey, but you made it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Morris Phillips says, Robin, ask your guest if he can create a film school for the Inglewood Unified School District. What do you plan on doing with, I mean, you've already done so much, obviously. Yeah. So you have people who rent out Turrentine Studios.
Yep.
You do your own projects there, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah,
like
I've done a few music videos and stuff, but yeah.
Mostly, okay. First of all, you have any favorite moments of things that you've done?
Man, not me, but maybe clients that have been there.
Okay.
Ty's project was good. Ty Dolla $ign, his project was really dope. They had they lit cars on fire, and
oh wow,
it was like a whole pyro thing. Todrick Hall, he came with camels and a bunch of dancers. That was a whole thing.
Wow.
So it's always something, you know.
How were you able to, once you solidified the land, was it the land and like the buildings, or did you like have to build on top of there?
So there's nothing on the land. That's the thing.
It's just the land that they can.
Land.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. So the marketing for that is specific to this industry.
Right.
That was something that you thought about? You're like, okay, how do I get this word out?
Yeah, just again, working as a cinematographer director, you in this space, you just start to understand the actual business of the entertainment business.
Yeah.
So I immediately thought about, okay, you know, creative real estate or, you know, locations are important. So that's why I just purchased the land. But I'm sorry, what's your question?
Yeah, if like marketing wise, did you put it out there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and then so I put it on Gigster, PeerSpace, Airbnb. So all these sites were already recognized, and you know they had good rapport. So it was like a domino effect. You know, once you get one booking on one site, you know, and get a good review, they just roll over, and that's just how it happens. And it's just like a huge.
And then like a word of mouth kind of thing within the industry itself.
That's another thing. Yeah, I get a lot of recurring clients that I've worked with in the past, and they come back. And because of the experience that they have working with me, how I'm just diligent on, you know, giving them the good service and being punctual with, you know, rules. And, you know, one of the biggest things that has been my success is being punctual with communication. So when producers reach out to me, via Gigster, online, whatever the case may be, I respond to them immediately within, I would say, no more than 5 minutes. Because
really?
It's so fast.
Yes.
So I already have my templates dialed up, and I just literally copy and paste. And, you know, because they're moving fast. They're looking at other locations while they're looking at mine.
That's right, yeah.
You know, when they send me an inquiry, I like to answer all their questions, or even get them on the phone, because as you know, time is money, and you know,
absolutely.
If I wait and don't respond to them within hours, I'm going to lose that opportunity.
How do you because a lot of people, we have just a few minutes left. A lot of people struggle with using both sides of the brain, right? Doing the creative aspect as well as the administrative thing, or the entrepreneurial thing. Was it hard for you to determine, okay, the cost of like leasing out, renting out the space? Is that something that you had to delve into as far as the research is concerned, or was that trial and error?
It was trial and error, but the thing about those sites is that they manage it for me. So I literally just go in and approve or deny bookings. So I don't have to necessarily be there all the time, or even filter through certain like clients.
Okay.
They do all that for me. So that gives me a lot of free time to continue doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And then when I get clients that I've never worked with, then I'll go out there and show them the space and give them a tour and things of that nature. But other than that, I mean, that's the beauty of those sites, because they make my life a lot easier as an owner, and and they have a calendar synced, so all of the booking dates are synced to my Google Calendar, so I know what times everyone's going to be there and what times they're supposed to leave. I know their rates based on their crew size and also their time that they're there. So
fantastic. Where do you go from here? Because obviously with Screen Indie, you said that you've been building, that's growing. Are you looking for investors? Or what does that process look like for you?
Yeah, we're actively in our pre-seed round right now. So we're looking to raise. I'm tired of spending my own money.
I know that's right.
I'm just being honest. I am in this business so far, but we're actively pitching. We're doing cold emails, we're doing cold calls. We've had a few hits, but one of the biggest things, and one of the critiques that we've received was that we trying to increase our numbers. So as far as our user engagement and things of that nature, so they want to see that. They love our concept, they love what we're doing, but they just want to see more of the engagement on our platform. So once we overcome that, I feel more than confident that we'll receive funding, and with that'll give us the ability to continue to scale and develop the platform itself.
Sure. Whoa, this time went by too fast, Richard.
Oh dang!
Where I know, me too. Where can people find out more and follow you, or find out more about your businesses? Where do you turn people?
I'm on Instagram, so it's Turrentine Studios, and I have an Instagram handle for Screen Indie, so it's Screen Indie, SCREENINDIE, and then Turrentine Studios is TURRENTINE Studios all together.
I don't even know what else to say. I want to have you back at some point. I mean, obviously,
I'm down.
You've been so great, and truly, I appreciate you and what you're doing, and
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and pioneering this thing. You know what I'm saying, and leading the way for other people coming after you. So, truly appreciate you. Raw Squad, I appreciate you guys. I see all of you. I see your engagement. Shout out to Amy Mack. She says, wow, this is incredible. Hollywood better watch out for him. Inspired. I know that's right. You guys, truly, it's been a pleasure. And enjoy your weekend. It's Friday. Turn up. All right. And relax over the weekend. I will be right back here on Monday. As you already know, Zoe Williams, the best of Zoe Williams, is up next. And I truly appreciated this time with Richard Turrentine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Robin Ayers. Remember, today and every single day forward, be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Former President Barack Obama will continue campaigning for Vice President Kamala Harris with a rally set in Georgia on October 24th. Harris and other Democrats aim to boost black voter turnout. Around 2,000 pages of evidence in Trump's election interference case were released today. Special counsel Jack Smith argues Trump is not immune and